Hey guys, happy Labor Day. It's Labor Day 2018, and I'm coming from you live from Florida at a Starbucks and feeling great. There was some rain today because there was a hurricane, well, not a hurricane, tropical storm on the very southern tip of Florida, Miami, hugging around Miami, going towards the Gulf of Mexico. So we got some outskirts of the rain, but it's cleared up. Most of the day was pretty nice. Walked most of the day. I was on the beach. It was sunny. And even now it's dried up and it's actually cool and it's great. I love Florida. It's very magical and I love it. Let's check the live comments because I'm feeling like a little, I'm feeling inspired. Ice Thesis says, hey Sam, hello to you. Ice Thesis, good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing great. GM1989, hey Sammy, what's going on, brother? Seminole. Hey, hello to you! Exclamation mark. Joseph Marin. Hey man, do you intermittent fasting? No, I don't. I've heard of other people doing that. I've seen it on YouTube. I don't. What I do is mainly a plant-based diet. I walk every day, 5 to 10 miles, sometimes even 15 miles, but really 5 to 10 miles average. Plant-based diet, and that's it. I used to weigh 350 pounds. I lost 200 pounds. I sustained it all for 4 years, and no gimmicks, just consistency. I did fall along the way. Just like when I quit cigarettes, just like when I quit anything, you go through ups and downs in the beginning, but you just got to have determination and the grace of God to just want to change. And plant-based diet is what does it for me. Tony Burns, what's up, Dan? What's going on, Tony? Good to see you. Simple simply says, yes, rained here in North Florida most of the day. Simply, do you know Hastings, Florida, or Hastings, Florida? I was just searching some land on realtor.com on the app on my phone, and I saw, I think it was Hastings, Florida, and there was some unrestricted land, a small unincorporated town. I was just looking around. It's pretty close to Jacksonville. I don't know if I'd want to go that far up north, but just figured. Ice thesis. Ready for the start of the school tomorrow? Yeah, well, for me, it's back to work tomorrow, so I'm ready for that. But I certainly understand the going back to school mindset. It's almost like the same as going back to work, but a little bit different. I think going back to work is better. Why? Because at least you're getting paid for it. So I'm not going to lie because I remember that's what I used to feel. I was like, oh, I'm going back to school. Going back to school and going back to work both suck, but at least work you're getting paid. But when you're getting paid as an adult, you have bills. You have a lot more bills than you do as an adolescent. And many times in life, like me, you're working and you don't even really see the fruits of your paycheck. I work with a lot of people that make great money. And I remember a couple weeks ago, I said to them, I said, tomorrow's payday. And most of these people that make great money said, what's that? They even said, well, I don't see that. Only my wife sees it. Or look, that money goes right out to bills. So, just be mindful, any young person out there that's still in high school, college, or whatever, the biggest financial decision you make is live below your means. Somebody was in here a few weeks ago, we were talking about college, and I know it was a little bit contentious, but I'm just trying to let you understand that college is your first business decision. It's not a schooling decision. College means you're taking out debt, even if you're getting some of it as a grant. You're still not. It's not going to pay 100%. In most cases, you don't get 100% free college. So, being that you have to pay for it, you have to go in debt for it. That's a business decision. It's not an education decision. It's not free. It's you spending money. So you have to look at it as a business decision because you want to get a return on that investment, and you want to kind of like go for something that you may not know what you want to do, but you at least want it to be somewhat, you want to take it serious. That's all I'm saying. Simply, it's nice, and the beaches are nice too. Yes, we love Florida. And then she says, I think Hastings is further inland. It is inland, about I think a half hour, 40 minutes inland. The only reason I was looking at that because there was unrestricted land, so you could put an RV there without any problems. But it's a little bit more north than I want to be. But there's nothing close to the beach that you can get that without restrictions. But there are some things close to the beach that you could put an RV on, but they have restrictions. But right now, I'm still happy, totally full nomad. I reserved a campground for the next few nights. Other than that, for the past several nights, I've just been back to free camping. So for the next couple nights, I'll do campground. I like to do campgrounds when I'm working because then I kind of like have a reliable schedule as far as like I know where I'm gonna wake up, what places are close, and then like on the weekends or my days off, then I'll just do free camping because I can more freelance. But even that, sometimes I mix it up. The biggest issue I'm finding with the campgrounds is some of them have a lot of bugs, and and some of them want you to put up a tent even if you don't sleep in it. Like I was talking to the park ranger today, he was like, "Yeah, they want you to put up a tent even if you don't sleep in it." I was like, "That's crazy." Some of them don't care. I was like, "I don't understand. I'm paying the same amount. It's not like I'm not paying if I don't put a tent up." He goes, "Yeah, I know. It's just the rules that they have." So I don't know if somebody comes around and checks in the middle of the night or not. I don't know. Simply, nice. Simply, how much are you paying at the campground? $28. You don't have to pay. There's cheaper ones if you do just what they call primitive. But I'm paying $28 a night. If you add taxes and everything, it ends up like $30 a night. So you can do it cheaper. You could probably do it for half that. I have seen some campgrounds for half that, but it's all a matter of where you want to stay and what the campground's like. And you can do free camping if you want to travel a lot, but then you can spend more on gas. Everything has a trade-off. But you can definitely, if you mixed it in with free camping and campgrounds and you just travel a lot, you could do as little or as less as you want, but it's all depending on where you need to be, where you want to be, how much you want to travel. If you have a static job, then that has to be something to consider. Or if you just don't want to constantly travel and spend money in gas, it's something to be considered. Now, there's plenty of people in here that just stay local, and they got their own way of doing things. So I don't knock their hustle. It's just not my way. Tony. Tony says he's headed to Atlanta. I may try to hit Miami too. I'm not mad at that. Johnny Durden. Sam, you have been a great motivator. Well, thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that. Love and respect. Simply, not bad. Still cheaper than a hotel. Oh, definitely cheaper than a hotel. Unless you don't have bed bugs. Now you may have no-see-um bugs, but you don't have bed bugs. I feel more comfortable sleeping in a Renegade than I do a hotel room. I'll tell you that much. Some people don't understand that, but that's the truth for me. That may not be the truth for everybody, but that's the truth for me. Live your truth. You got to speak your truth. Everyone has a different truth. Simply, yes, I'd stay local for a while. Simply says, bed bugs. Ugh, yeah, very nasty. AI Gaming. Storming hitting Miami soon. Yeah, I think mainly it's going to swing around to the Gulf, but we'll see. Tomorrow I think it's supposed to hit the high point of the passing, the storm passing. But like everything, it passes. And like I say, Florida's a big state. There's many places to go. And I've been through worse storms in New Jersey, worse snowstorms, worse hurricanes. So don't let people give you this big song and dance like it's the end of the world. Simply, and TV remotes in plastic bags. Oof, yeah, I hate TV. I hate TV. I'll never watch TV again. The only time I watch TV is when I go visit my mom. She'll usually have the Kardashians on there. But I don't like TV. I made a video in the beginning of my journey. The number one thing I don't miss, having a home is TV. I don't miss the shows. Definitely don't miss the news. I don't miss any of that. I was just watching on Starbucks on my laptop. I was watching a movie I bought on YouTube a year ago, Arbitrage, with Richard Gere. Great movie. I recommend that movie, Arbitrage. And I was watching right on my laptop. I pick and choose what I want to see when I want to see it. I don't like the regular TV. Very horrible. It's primitive. Talk about primitive camping. That's primitive entertainment. And let me go back. GM9 says, I've been sleeping on the floor for a week now. I threw out the bed. Well, that's a start. If that's what you want to do. I'm with you on that. Simply, oh no. Ice thesis. I'm preparing for fall up here in North. Yeah, I mean, the fall could be a nice time of year. It certainly could be a nice time of year for camping. Fall and the cooler weather is nice to sleep at night. I like it hot during the day, but a little bit cooler at night is good for sleeping. If you're going to sleep, like a camper, and you're not going to have air conditioning or heating. So this is the best time of year to get ready to start a nomadic journey or to do some long-term camping. There's no doubt about that. Spring and fall are your best times because that's the moderate temperature times of the year. Summer, obviously, and winter could be your toughest depending on where you're at. Now, winter in Florida is great, but if you were doing winter up north, it's tougher than the summers, in my opinion, my experience. Simply, I'm a germaphobe with hotel remotes. Yeah, well, I'm a germaphobe. Not a germaphobe, but I like to give people the pound rather than the handshake. Uh, I could do that now. When I was working in an office, so many times I had to give the handshake because people just, especially older people, like you go to give them a pound, they get offended. I don't know why. I don't like to give handshakes, but once in a while, a handshake because I want to be respectful. And then I go in the bathroom and I'll wash my hands like crazy. It's just the way I am too. Ron, hey Sam, do you plan on going home for the holidays or staying in Florida for the holidays? Thank you, brother. Good to see you, Ron. I don't. The holidays, I don't know. I was thinking in October. I may go back to see my mom in October. I don't know if I want to. Probably October will be the next time I go back up there, and then I'll go from there. I don't want to. I'd like to at least do it like 2 month intervals. Be down here for 2 months. Go up there for a week. Come down for 2 months. Go up there for a week. I like to see my mom maybe once every 2-3 months for a week or so, and then come back down. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. That may change. And then I've been thinking too, like maybe renting an RV like from Cruise America for 2 weeks, maybe in December, Christmas, just drive my mom around, take her down to Florida that way. So we'll see. I've been thinking about that. Simply Seminole says fall is nice in North Florida. Yep, because it cools off. Nice for car camping, definitely, no doubt about it. Yeah, and that's what I love about Florida. Again, Northern Florida is very moderate temperatures. Even in the summer, sometimes like when I do go up Northern Florida, it's cooler than obviously Southern Florida, and it's a little bit break. Again, I remember meeting somebody in Planet Fitness that lives in Key West, and he goes to St. Augustine for the summers, and then in like October he goes back down to Key West to escape the hurricane season and get. So people even within the own state are snowbirds, right? So even Floridians that live way South Florida, they go up north, some of them, just to escape the summer and the hurricane season. So that's true. Elizabeth V. Hey, hello to you. You're recognized. Good to see you. Ice Thesis. I saw a bunch of Labor Day family drama with other people. Holidays bring stress. Well, amen, brother. That's the truth. I've been there. Holidays bring stress on families, on vacations, on trying to, and it's no one's fault. Look, you get caught in that trap. Families are trying to do the right thing by saying, all right, we got off this extra day, let's try to spend it with the family. But then you end up with a bunch of people in one car going to one place and everyone wants to go their own direction. And there's a lot of crowds, there's a lot of waiting online, and it adds for higher stress. When you have higher stress, you have less enjoyment of life. And people have good intentions, but it ends up a total disaster, which I've been through in my life and in my childhood. And I remember my parents being so stressed out when they were still together. And then even when we had got divorced and we tried to do things on the holidays, it's too much stress. And it would end up not enjoyable. Again, not that everything was bad, so I don't want to paint an unfair picture. But what I could tell you is, look, for me, especially as an adult, that's one reason I wanted to be an adult. I'm not one of these people that say, oh, I want to go back to being a child. I don't want to go back to being a child. Because I remember a child, yeah, you may not have to as many responsibilities, but you're controlled. You're controlled by your parents. You're controlled by somewhat of society. You don't have your freedoms. You don't have your liberties. Look, being an adult, you have more responsibilities, but you can control your life. You want to spend the holiday weekend alone? That's your choice. You're an adult. When you're a child, whatever, when you're young, you got to play the game. I couldn't wait to get older. And look, being an adult has some disadvantages, but for me, I'd rather have control of my life and be able to live my own life than be drug around, on a family vacation. Simply, it does. Holidays equal stress. I'm with you on that. Zelda Morales. Hey, Sam, hello to you. Woohoo! Do you think it's dangerous to drive to San Diego from Michigan in November and drive back in January to Detroit? Well, I think it's dangerous to drive, period. The most dangerous thing in society, hands down, is to drive. Doesn't matter if you're driving from San Diego to Michigan or if you're driving right up the street to your supermarket. Driving is one of the most dangerous things in society. That's why it's law. It's a law that you have to have insurance. It's dangerous as hell. Statistics prove it. I want you to Google how many people die a year car accidents. I often say it's illegal to text and drive. It's legal to live in your car, but it's illegal to text and drive. Many people will give you shit on your nomadic journey and look down at you like you're committing a crime by living out of your car. But most of them, 99% of them, are committing a crime every day by looking at their phone, texting, searching things online while they're driving. Whether they're driving a Benz or whether they're driving a Hoopsie, they're committing a crime. They're committing a crime by texting and driving. You're not committing by living in your car, as long as you park legally. So never forget that. Elizabeth B. Heading there in a week. Can't wait. That's what I'm talking about. Smiley face back at you. Woohoo! With the snow. Yeah, look, I've driven in the snow. That's why I did get a four-wheel drive. That's why I like the Jeep Renegade, because when I bought it a little over 2 years ago, I knew I was still in New Jersey, and so I needed four-wheel drive for the snow. So I think that's number one when you're driving in the snow. And it does handle good in the snow. Jeep Renegade handles great. I drove that. I had a Range Rover. I had a Jeep Compass. Those were the four-wheel drive cars I had in my lifetime. And what I can tell you is the Renegade and the Jeep Compass handle just as good as the Range Rover in the snow. I'm very happy with that. And so, yeah, I mean, look, in any inclement weather, whether it's rain, snow, whatever, it's going to be a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more, and not just more dangerous, it's going to be unpleasant. Driving in the snow is unpleasant. So what I would say is, in life, and that's going to cause for more stress. When you have more stress, you have less enjoyment, less quality of life. So obviously, try not to drive when it's snowing, and try to plan that trip otherwise. But if you have no choice, then you have to do what you have to do. Shantae Harris, hey, hello to you. Thank you for all the positive you put out there. Well, thank you. I got some shit today from some lady with low character named Catherine. She said, oh, I like your short videos, but I don't like your what's up videos, these long, you should do a Patreon account just for the long videos. I don't want to see that. I said, I don't want you as a subscriber. I don't want you as a friend. You have low character. Like, you don't dictate to me, how I make my videos. You either you like them or you don't, and unsubscribe. But there's no survey. I want you to tell me what you want. There's none of that here. There's no gimmicks. And I certainly don't want to be friends with somebody of low character that's a controlling, manipulative person that probably has a history in their personal life of bad, unhealthy relationships. I know she does. Why? Because she's a controlling, manipulative person. And I hope she unliked this. And I hope she unsubscribes, because I don't want to be friends with people like that. I've worked my entire life to get away from people like that, not to surround myself with people like that, because I've been in those type of relationships. And you know what I could tell you? Complete disaster, complete life destroyer. I want people that accept me and that I accept them, and we respect one another. I don't want to change them, and I don't want them to change me. Now, if we can't do that, then we got to go our separate ways. That's how I get down in this world, period, okay? Thank you for all the positivity you put out. Well, thank you. I just had to put a little bit out there too. How did your mom react to you becoming a nomad? Good question. Mine hates it and thinks that I can't afford to live somewhere. My mom, God bless her, loving parent, she's not controlling. My father's controlling. So my father got upset. I basically had to tell him, look, I'm an adult. I'm not asking for your approval. Just like I told that viewer, I'm not asking for your approval on how I run my channel. My mom just said, Sam, look, if you're being safe, I just want the best for you, and I want you to be happy. Love and respect to my mom. Love and respect to any loving person that's not controlling. Rebuke and totally disconnect from any controlling person. As a parent, once you're an adult, your parent has two options in life. They can either get on board with your adult life, or they could kick rocks. Some people don't want to hear that. But if your parent wanted you to be an adult only based on how they want you to be an adult, they're not a parent. They're a controlling person. And I don't want to be around controlling people. Now, that's my opinion based on my experience. Everyone should do what they want. Elizabeth, rain or shine. Amen. That's what I'm talking about. Nicholas, what's good, brother? I'm thankful. Caught you live. You all right? I'm doing great, brother. How are you? Simply. Shantae, I hear you. People think I'm nuts. No, let them think that. Most people are miserable. So let me tell you something. What I found out in life is, if most people think you're nuts, as long as what you're doing is not hurting someone, who cares what they think? Why? Because 90% of society is miserable. Most people are on medication for not being happy. Most people are self-medicating. Most people have anxiety, depression. So am I going to listen to them like what type of videos they want me to make? You're probably miserable. Look, you either give this a thumbs up or you kick rocks, because I don't really care. But I have the last laugh banking in the coin. Yeah. And look, even if you decide to live in your car, like I said, there could be pitfalls. You could not save money, because it can be more expensive than living in a cheap apartment. You can save up extra money, and then maybe you're going to risk that money. Maybe you're going to lose it. Maybe you're going to spend it frivolously. There is no guarantee that if you live cheap, you automatically bank money. So I want to be clear. Obviously, you have great potential to, and I think living the simple life is wisdom. But I want to also let you know that there's possibility that you don't. GM 1989. I should throw out the TV. You should do what you want, but that's what I did. Elizabeth, laugh out loud. Good, thank you. Woohoo! We are controlled way worse now compared to us when we were young. Well, not me. Some people out there may be. Not me. Shantae, laugh out loud. Thanks, simply being a nomad is freeing. It is for me. Angelina from Tampa Bay. I hope the storm isn't getting you too bad. Good to see you. Hey, Sam and everyone. Glad to catch you live. Glad to have you. Got invited to a Labor Day party. Oof, thumbs down to that. I said thanks, but I don't do parties. Thumbs up to that. Don't want to deal with any possible drama. Thumbs up back at that. And I'm so happy I'm staying home. Cheese emoji. Yeah, well, I'm happy to have you here. Good to see you, Angelina. Jacqueline. Good evening. Good evening to you. I just got back from an evening walk. Well, congratulations. That's a good decision. I'm relaxing before work tomorrow. Sunglass face emoji. Good job, Jacqueline. How do you change your life? Go for a walk. It's not that complicated. I totally agree. Great job. Simply, I look at car living as an adventure. It is an adventure. Just like any adventure, it can get boring. It can become a pain in the ass. Nothing in life is perfect, but it is more adventurous than the conforming life. But just be mindful that you got to have a level of perspective. Ice thesis. Sam, you are close to 1,000 videos. Keep going. I appreciate that. Are you going to do anything special for that? No, I'm not. I think if I did make the next milestone, probably 10,000 subscribers. But even with that, I take it all with a grain of salt. It took me forever to get to 1,000 subscribers. Then I shopped to 4,000. And then the past 1,000 or so has been very slow. It is what it is. At this point, I mean, I kind of know what it is. I don't have any, I never really had any grand illusions. I'm just thankful for what I have. That's number one. And I think that would be the next mark to 10,000. But you deal with a lot of negative people. Well, you deal with more positive, but the negative people just never stop. Doesn't matter if you have 1 sub or 10,000. They always got something smart to say. So I just make videos for me. I don't. So that's what I'm thinking. The next one will be 10,000. Angelina, I think I'm a nomad in a certain way, not in the sense of living in a car, but moving around a lot. Well, I feel you on that. I haven't found a place where I feel like I'm quite at home, but it's okay. Amen. Well, congratulations, because I know you downsized. Congratulations on I know you healed, or you're healing. You're healing from a breakup, a divorce. And my heart goes out to you, because I know you get over it, and then there's waves of grief. You think you're over it, and then all of a sudden a wave of grief hits you, sadness. You just got to keep going forward. And that's what my prayer for you, Angelina, is just continue to heal and continue to be you. And if you ever do get in another relationship, that they fully accept you for you and you fully accept them, and it's magical and beautiful. Colin, forget those low character clowns. Well, Colin, I appreciate that, brother. Love and respect. Thank you. I appreciate that. Simply, usually judgment comes from fear. That's actually a great comment, Simply, and I think that's pretty accurate. Good job. GM 1989, I needed to hear that. Well, thank you, GM. Simply, gotta feel sorry for people like that. I feel love for everyone. I really do. I don't want anyone to suffer. Even people like I tell Kick Rocks, look, I want the best for them. And sometimes I'm wrong, but I don't feel sorry for them. I get pissed. And it's just like, I mean, come on. I mean, especially I could see some of my videos that are a little bit negative, I get a little bit too rough. So I can understand, sometimes, people can say, look, but sometimes, people, comment and give me feedback, and I'm like, man, that was, there was, nothing, negative in that. That was just, all positive. How can somebody, be mad at that? But there's somebody out there that's mad at that. And, I often say, look, having a YouTube channel, the bad part about it is it's mentally painful. If you read every comment. There's a lot of YouTube creators that they don't read every comment, that as soon as they go live, they have one purpose. It's Super Chat, it's Patreon, it's PayPal, and those things are tempting. But for me, it's not the path. And because when you go that route, when you collect money from your viewers, they're customers, and the customer's always right. And that's why I have the freedom to be myself, because there's no customers here. Look, it's monetized, but no one has to watch the ads. Everything is 100% free, and I don't have to worry about, look, I take somebody's money and then I got to tap dance for them. There's a big difference, and you're going to see, and that's why, sometimes I think people come and they leave comments because they view me like other channels. So they view me like they're the customer, and they're going to tell me what one is the customer, and I have to comply. Not the case. Not the case at all. So what's going on here is I'm documenting my life. I'm sharing it. You either like it or you don't, and you don't have to like it. But if you don't like it, I would just suggest you move on with your life. Because if you think I'm going to listen to somebody with a faceless dot or even if they have their face on their profile, if you think like if I'm going to change my life based on a comment you leave, I mean, you're really disillusioned. I mean, would you change your life because somebody leaves you a comment? I wouldn't, and I wouldn't recommend you do that. So I mean, people are way out there, man. Angelina, live how you want to live as long as you're not hurting anyone. Yes, that's the golden rule. If you're happy, then who cares what they think? Amen. And me and you on the same page, Saute. Thank you. You always lift my spirits. And then the magical blessing with the hand emojis. Thank you. I appreciate that. Angelina, thank you so much, Sam. All is good. Good. Thank you for the words of encouragement. No problem. I got love for you. Your videos are always positive and helpful. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And it's good to see you. Zakia, what's up, Zakia? When you have haters, you know you're on the right track. To somewhat, that's true. If everyone loves you, you're not your own person. That's a good point. Good point, Zakia. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Love to you. I hope you're doing good if you're working, because I know last chat I saw you were listening to me when you were working. Woohoo. Where do you park when you have to go to the bathroom? Well, for me, like I say, I'm on a cycle. So for me, I only go number 2. I did a video about that in the morning between 7 a.m. to noon. And when I go number 1 at night, I have a pee jug, and that's it. That's how I handle it. They sell like little porta johns like that you could put for camping if you wanted to use that. Elizabeth, I like them, and then she gave the smiley face. Angelina, I don't understand YouTube trolls. Where do they find all this time? Yeah, well, that's the problem right there. To make negative comments. Well, that's the problem. They don't have a life, so they project their negative energy on you. And there's like 2 different types of people I met on YouTube as far as on the negative side. There's trolls, and you know they're trolls. They're just like straight up, like they got a profile picture of an alien or like Satan or like, some like monster. You know, like they're just straight trolling. And then you got like somebody like this just has a nasty, controlling spirit. Like this lady who left me a comment today, like she didn't look like a troll. She just looked like a controlling, bitter, nasty lady. Like there's a big difference between like a troll, like somebody either they have maybe mental issues or they're very immature or whatever, versus like the lady I was dealing with today, like just nasty, controlling, sarcastic, smart. And I didn't do anything to her. Like it's not like she came in a live chat like and I said something like crazy to her. Like she just commented out of nowhere, like trying to tell me like what to do, like giving me a sarcastic comment. I'm like, what, this lady's crazy. But this is what you deal with. Elizabeth retracted. That's all right. Well, this is what it is. I mean, the title of this today was just saying that there's peace in simple living. It's a beautiful thing in life to have peace. I always share that growing up in the Catholic Church, even though once I became 18, I went and I sought different churches, Baptist, non-denominational, different religions. But growing up in the Catholic Church, the number one part I liked about it was in the church service when they said, "Peace be with you." And then you shake somebody's hand or something, and they say, "Also with you." You wish someone peace. I think there's no greater wish for someone than to wish them peace. Nothing religious about that. Like if I said, "Look, I wish peace for you," to me, that's a blessing. If you could pray for me, pray for peace. Peace is a blessing. How do you get peace? You got to eliminate people who want conflict out of your life. I just eliminate. I don't want conflict anymore. Like I'm not in a point in my life like where I want to argue. I don't want to argue with people. I don't want to prove that I'm right. I just want I want to vibe with people, and I want my life to be as peaceful as possible. At work, you got to deal with stress. Certainly, like in life, things go wrong. You got to deal with stress. I don't want to make life harder than it has to be. I want to keep things very simple. Some people, they don't get that. Calco. Hello it's the former Documento from Argentina. I remember you from last night. Good to see you. Calco. Just in time for my night latte. Well, cheers. Cheers to you in Argentina. Elizabeth, sorry, laugh out loud. That's okay. Nothing to apologize for. Love and respect to Argentina. Love and respect to everyone across the world. Love and respect to everyone in America. Labor Day today in America, where labor rights were fought for. The weekends off were fought for, a lot by unionized labor. I still think there's economic injustice. I think minimum wage is a tragedy in America. I think there's a lot of things that can be improved with with labor rights. I think in this country, and I think, I think the common person is still getting left out. For some people, yes. Look, I understand minimum wage and all that. It's an entry level position for some people, but for some people, got to realize like not everyone is meant to be a CEO. Not everyone's meant to be an executive. Some people, there's honor in just being a worker. Calco, do you even know where Argentina is located? I know it's south. What is this? Isn't don't quote me on this. I'd have to Google Maps it, but I believe it's east, maybe northeast of Brazil, South America, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Calco, then he gets smiley face. Angelina, Sam, were you able to meet up with Milano? Only in the spirit, not in person, not yet. But Milano's been checking in. Milano's a good guy down in Miami, living out of his class B plus. Milano's a good brother, man. Love and respect. He used to live in Virginia. Where else did he used to live? But he was sharing with me a couple places he used to live. So he's made his travels, but he lives a simple life. He's close to 60, again in his RV, Class B plus. And he does mainly free camping from my understanding. Brother John, what's up, man? Hey, Sam, unions are past their usefulness now. To some extent, I think that's correct. But to some extent, America loses because of that. Pensions are gone. They're a thing of the past now. Most people have loans on their 401k, so it doesn't matter if the stock market's up, they don't see the benefits. Pensions, you saw the benefit no matter what. And unions provided free college tuition. Not college, but trade school, schooling, free books. So I do think unions became corrupt. I do think anything gets too powerful becomes corrupt. So I'm not like pro nonstop union. I'm just saying that there's an imbalance right now. There's no balance. We just passed huge tax reform that heavily favored wealthy and corporate America. And it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat. Corporations and big money controls the country. The common worker is getting the short end of the stick. And I don't care what they talk to you. It doesn't matter if you live in a red state or a blue state. I'm telling you right now, unless you have a good job, look, I'm blessed to have a good job. Unless you have a good job, you're getting a short end of the stick out there. And it's not right. There should be a little bit more equality economically. Doesn't mean like I say, McDonald's makes millions, billions of dollars a year. Amazon makes billions of dollars a year. Their average worker, $10 to $13 an hour. There's an imbalance, okay? You can still make millions and billions of dollars in profit and pay your employees $20 an hour and have some type of health care. And you'd still have wealthy people, you'd still have wealthy corporations, and the capitalist economy would still grow. The problem is no one's fighting for that. What they're fighting for is tax reform for the wealthy. They'll get you all fired up about a racial division. They get you all fired up about, we're not celebrating Christmas, but cut the check. Okay, because believe me, they're cutting the check for them. It doesn't matter who it is. They're toasting to Mar-a-Lago, and believe me, they ain't worried about minimum wage. I don't care what they say to the common person. They'll go to those rallies, but those people in those rallies are never going to be behind the walls of Mar-a-Lago. Never be there. And if they do, they'll be on a 2-week vacation struggling to pay for that. There's an imbalance, okay? And if you're going to make America great, then you have to, ensure economic equality, because it doesn't matter if unemployment is low, if wages are not rising. It doesn't matter if unemployment's low. It means you're working, but you're not getting paid. A lot of people aren't getting paid livable wages. I know people that work at Walmart and Amazon. What do you think they do? You making $10, $12, $13 an hour, even $15 an hour. You think you're not on welfare benefits? You think you're not on food stamps? Of course you are. And who's subsidizing the corporations? Taxpayers. Okay, taxpayers subsidizing them, and we're subsidizing them because corporations don't want to pay a fair living wage. That's where Bernie Sanders is right. I'm not agree with him on all things, but he's right on that. Because they could, believe me, they can afford to pay people $20 an hour and still make millions and billions of dollars. But in this world, what I found is you got to fight for everything. And the problem is, most people who make it in life, they really don't give a shit anymore. And so everyone's just out for themselves a little bit. And I understand that too. Angelina, okay, I think the both of you would have. Not yet, but I appreciate that. Cacalico, a.k.a. South Cone. Yeah, it's next to Brazil, Chile, and Uruguay. I got 2 good friends that migrated here from Uruguay. Love and respect to them. You passed geography, and that's how I know too. Well, actually, one of my friends growing up was Brazilian. and two people I met recently within the past 10 years your way. Uh, Antolina, an awesome, awesome time. That's what I'm talking about. Brother John, hard to fire unproductive workers. Well, let me tell you something. I've worked for unions and non-unions, and let me tell you something. It was harder to fire people in non-union jobs. Okay, so that's a myth because I've worked in both. I've seen both. We had a troublemaker in a non-union company, and he was very hard to fire. So the bottom line is, look, I don't care. Make it easy to fire people, but make sure that they get paid a living wage. You know, I don't care if someone's unproductive, fire them, but make sure they get a living wage. So again, we can be balanced. We can say, look, you can't protect unproductive. I'm totally for that, but you can't pay people $10 an hour and then expect, the government to subsidize with food stamps because you have to. You can't live off $10, $15 an hour. So let's just cut it down the middle. Antolina. So true. It's tough out there. The regular worker is just not making enough today to get by. I totally see that. Do you keep your money in the bank? Yes. Tara, the U.S. has a lot more than 60,000 factories since 2001. Okay. Antolina, I've heard from different sources that Amazon treats its workers horribly. Well, I don't know about horribly, but again, it's not just Amazon. It's McDonald's, Taco Bell, anyone, you pick them all. Again, minimum wage is like $8 an hour, something like that. Most people get paid between 10 to 15. My mom works at a supermarket, and she gets Social Security. She's 70 years old, still working. She gets $1,200 a month. She worked her whole life, and she's working for $11 an hour. Okay. So what I can tell you is, based off my own experience in life, working at the very low realm, and now I'm blessed to be at the high realm, is what I can tell you is there's major inequality there. Because I know some people that work for $11 an hour that work harder than some people that make six figures. That's the truth. That's the truth. I can tell you from my own personal experience. And it has nothing to do with, like people are lazy if they work at Walmart. It's nothing to do with that. There's certainly some people lazy to work at Walmart. Some people lazy to work on Wall Street. You better believe that's the case. Okay. What's the difference between banking fraud versus, somebody scamming the system on disability? These politicians will cover up wire fraud, paying off people, scheming, corruption. They'll excuse those, but they want 3 strikes. They want welfare reform. They want all these other things, but they look past their own transgressions. Believe me, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in big money that they look at white collar crime a lot different. Bobby, there's always an excuse to pay a person a low wage. And he says he's 36 at my job, and he makes less than other people do because the state he lives in, they're raking in the money. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I definitely think, standards need to go up some. There's no doubt about it. I agree. Calco, you are the cookie I didn't get to have with my latte. Low on funds right now. Well, okay. Milk and cookies for everyone then. You gotta laugh in this world. This world's crazy, man. Milk and cookies. Remember Bernie Mac had a skit about milk and cookies? That was a good skit. Love and respect. But what are you gonna do? I mean, you just gotta be thankful. I do believe, I think the biggest thing I can say with work is, again, just show up every day. I think if you show up and you stay positive, you will get ahead, and then just live below your means. That's always my message. That's what I live. And that's why I can speak it. Look, I'm not perfect, but I try to show up every day and try to be positive. I try to do the best I can. And you do get far in life. Look, you will excel. Like I said, where I made the mistake is the problem when you sell, sometimes you're going to spend just as much as you make. So, and certainly geographical location. Look, in New Jersey, people give a lot of shit about New Jersey, and I give a lot of shit about New Jersey, but there's a lot of jobs, especially in North Jersey, a lot of jobs, a lot of high-paying jobs. Same thing in California. People give a lot of shit, liberal, a lot of jobs, a lot of high-paying jobs. In metropolitan areas, where things tend to lean a little bit liberal, it's not about liberal or conservative, though. I hate when we go down that argument because I know some people just cringe up in it. All I can tell you is, in metropolitan areas, there's going to be more work because there's more population, there's more money. If you're in a rural land, it's going to be very hard to make money, just because of geographic location. There's less people, there's less money. So, look, if I was destitute, I would do what I had to do. And if I was fishing, if I was a fisherman and I needed a job badly, where would I fish? I would fish by New York City. I would fish by Los Angeles. I would fish in major metropolitan areas that had abundance of jobs. Why? Because that's where the most fish are. It's very simple. Now, I'll probably fish in Miami because I'd rather live down there. You get a little bit less, but I'd rather live down there. But this is the way life works. Calco, when I first saw your videos, I was like, what a hard and negative dude. Though you made good points, now that I see live, you seem like a nice guy. Well, thank you. I mean, look, there's going to be times you like me and times you don't. You may love me now. You may hate me 5 months from now. I understand why people may view me differently depending on what video they see. But I also understand why people take the Bible and other written things out of context because they look at one verse and they take it. But even that, look, like Nas says, look, best friends become strangers. Appreciate any good thing that you can take from me. Take it. Put your own twist on it. Don't put me on a pedestal because eventually, I'm going to let you down or you're not going to like what I say. And so just take whatever good you can from me and leave the bad and be yourself. That's what I do with other people. BVT's in the house. Hey, BVT, good to see you. On a positive note, there's no firmer foundation than the bottom line. When you get down here with me, there is nowhere to go but up. I'm not mad at that, BVT. BVT, stay positive and learn a new work every day. I'm not mad at that. You may have a chance to use it in your next interview. Well, that's true. I agree with that. And just be mindful, how you leave jobs, because the number one thing they're going to ask you at your new job is for a reference and why'd you leave your old job. So just got to be careful. BVT, always throwing in jewels. BVT lived a simple, good life. I'm praying for BVT's health and his well-being. I think about that daily, and that's what I want for him. Peace to his heart, peace to his family, peace to his mind, peace to your mind. Again, why do I like the simple life? Why do I like minimalism? It's healing to the mind. You're still going to have stress in this world, but it's a little bit healing. It's peace. Calco, you have several good things to take from. Well, thank you. You accumulated much wisdom on the road, I guess. Thank you. Well, it has accumulated over the years, and the Lord has always blessed me with wisdom, even when I was young, to a certain extent. I've certainly made the wrong decisions. But I was always what they call like an old soul. But thank you. Better tubes. Angelina, you make me smile. Your picture's gorgeous. Now, be careful, BBT. That's how they caught me a couple times. You don't know how much filter is on that picture, and you don't even know if that's her. I had a person come in. It could have been a robot. Said she was a Dallas cheerleader. I think it ended up being a guy from Oklahoma that changes his own oil in his pickup truck. But if you looked at her profile, if you looked at his profile picture, he was a cheerleader from Dallas Cowboys. So Angelina could be Chuck Johnson from Oklahoma, watching us live in the back of his pickup. We don't know who Angelina is. She could be a robot. Now, put very little value in profile pictures. Very little. Angelina, Sam has a lot of wisdom. Well, I just gave you a lot on that one. Calco. By the way, I think minimum wisdom equals poverty. Okay, well, how much do you make per year? What's your living situation? I disagree with you. And you don't even have a profile picture, so I can't say look, that's your opinion. I disagree, and that's okay. See, now we don't like each other anymore. BBT, thank you, Sam. Angelina, laugh my ass off. I actually don't have any filters. Well, I've heard that before. I need one though, but I have a cheap phone. But you do look beautiful. But and it's not even if it's got a filter. It's like the angle and the lighting. I've told you guys that. Even with me, like some nights I come in here, I'm super sexy. All the milfs direct message me. They want my personal email. But then I got bad light and nobody wants to direct message me. So it's all about lighting and angles. Like if you look at me from the back of my ass and look a little wide, you don't want me. But if I stand up a certain way and my ass looks good and I look tall, everyone wants to direct message me. It's all about angles. I remember I was dating some girl, and then her friend had this. This is when Facebook first came out, and her friend had this profile. I said, "Your friend looks like Ashanti." I said, "But in real life, she don't look like Ashanti. She don't look nothing like Ashanti." And she was like, "I know, Sam. It's just the angle and the makeup she had on." I said, "Phew, damn, good thing I know her in real life, because I would have direct messaged her thinking she's Ashanti. She wasn't Ashanti." Nope. Got to be very careful out there, guys. Okay. Calco, Angelina, robot. Yeah, very careful. Elizabeth laughs good. Lillian laughs good. Elizabeth laugh. Calco, I like expensive things. Okay. Well, if you have the net worth and you have the income to afford it, I'm blessed. Yeah, I go under the radar. I'm not mad at you. Do you? My answer is, do you? I don't want to tell people how to live. I don't want people to tell me how to live. I want everyone to be positive. As long as what you're doing is not hurting anyone, I don't care what anyone does. That's my motto. And praise the Lord. That's all I got to say. This is a tough crowd. You ain't lying. And you try to run a YouTube channel and put 1,000 videos up. Very tough crowd. Very tough. But you gotta, it's tough. Not easy. It's not easy. But it's good to laugh. It's good to laugh. You better laugh. This world will make you cry if you don't want to laugh. Sometimes, sometimes I cry. I do. But you can't stay in sadness. You got to walk and you got to keep going forward and be thankful. You got to be thankful, as thankful as you can. Once in a while I start to like get in a sad place, start thinking like different things. And then I see somebody like, God forbid, like they have like a bump on the side of their head or, I never forget, I always share a story. Back in New Jersey, I remember one day I was feeling down and thinking about sad things. And I was feeling down on my life a little bit. I was still thankful, okay? But I'm being honest with you, I felt a little down. And I went to Kmart. That's when Kmart still had a lot of stores. I went to Kmart, and in Kmart, shout out to Carteret, New Jersey. In Kmart, there was this lady, and this lady was working a cash register, probably $10 an hour again, I think that's a sin. She's working a cash register. Half of her face was totally deformed. Here was somebody that could easily have disability, could easily given up on life, working the cash register with a fully deformed face. I mean, my heart just sunk. And one is I got humbled because I said, Sam, why, in my mind, why are you even thinking like you got it bad? Look at this person. And it just humbled me. My heart went out to her. And you're going to experience that in life. Once in a while, you're going to get down on yourself and down on life. And then you're going to see somebody that's got a lot worse than you. And you got to be thankful. You got to be thankful. Angelina, I love you guys. We love it too. Always make me laugh. Good. It's good to laugh. And then she gave 4 hearts. Very good. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone giving a thumbs up too. Why? Because there's a lot of negative people just want to give me thumbs down. So if you have the energy and if you love me, but I don't want to control you, give me a thumbs up. Why? Because I get a little pissed when people give me thumbs down. Respect. Well, that being said, I don't know. I'm just gonna. Am I gonna finish watching a movie on YouTube? I was watching Arbitrage with Richard Gere. No, I don't think so. It's about 9:15 now. I'll finish this live feed up soon, decompress a little bit, and then head back to the campground. Try to get some sleep. Hopefully, everything's peaceful there, and it should be. There's no issues. And back to work tomorrow. Wake up, go to the gym, hit Starbucks and start the day. And you just take it one day at a time. Before you know it, you'll be back here tomorrow at another live feed. So, time does pass, and as sad and as sometimes mentally painful it is to know that, look, you got to go back to work tomorrow, you got to go back to school. Just remember the hardest part is showing up. You just take it one day at a time. Before you know it, you'll be home, or you'll be in your car, or you'll be wherever you go after work. And, and the days just go. So just make the most of each day. Ralph, triple thumbs up. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. BBT, stay safe and happy, everyone. Thank you, brother. Good to see you, BBT. And you just take it one step at a time. And peace be to your mind. Peace is a valuable thing. Again, don't allow anyone in your life that steals your peace. I can't emphasize that enough. If someone's not good for your mental health, you gotta get them out of your life. Elizabeth, I'm going to bed. Good night, Sam. Be safe. Well, thank you. Smiley face back to you. Thank you for joining. Sally, heart, and then thumbs up. Thank you, Sally. Sally. Angelina, thanks, Sam. Hope you have a great night. Thank you. I hope you do too. All right, well, let's end it on a positive note before it gets negative. All right, peace and love, everyone. Stay positive. Try to smile and keep going forward.